Hey, what's up, everybody? We're gonna go ahead and do a quick rundown of the second episode of Fear the Walking Dead. I know it's a little late, but let's go ahead and get right into it. This episode starts with the daughter Alicia, basically looking for her boyfriend. She was supposed to meet up with her boyfriend in the other episode. He never showed. Already, you knew something was up. This episode starts off exactly where it leaves off, pretty much. She's going to his house to go find out what happened to him, and then finds out that he is very sick. And already as a viewer, you're like, get the hell away from him. And then, of course, credits roll and all that stuff. I really love the theme song to this show because it's just a... That's it. It almost takes a little cue from American Horror Story. How it has like that bell toll type of haunting sound. And that's it. That's it. There's no real theme song to it. It's just a dark sound, and then we see the title. From there, we see, the boyfriend, the mom, and the son, Nick, I believe. And they're in the truck getting away from what they just experienced. And they're still in disbelief. They're going through the radio dials, and then there's something that comes on the radio that sounds like, it's onto something. And this guy's like, I can't believe this is happening. Da, da, da. I thought that was pretty funny. Just because, again, you hear this, you're like, oh my God, somebody knows something. And then they're talking about football. They're talking about football. And, he kind of like scoffs and changes the channel. And he's tripping out. He's freaking out because nobody's talking about it. Somebody knows something. And as they're in the truck, the son Nick looks up and he sees a plane. Now, to me, I took that as a small hint to that newly announced little web series that they're going to be debuting that takes place on a plane. I know that they're going to be doing it within commercial breaks, I believe. I think it's during The Walking Dead when it comes back in October. And it takes place at that same time. So that's going to be interesting to see. I did hear that they are going to develop a character on there that will survive and join the cast of Fear the Walking Dead on season 2. Then, of course, you get the moment where the parents find out where the daughter is. They head that way to the boyfriend's house. And then you get the typical teenage, response. No, I don't want to leave him. No, I love him. But yet he's freaking sweating, sick as hell. You don't know what he has. And she's like, well, if he has it, then I have it. No, don't treat it like that. Don't act that way. And then that got me annoyed, just because as a parent, the moment you see something like that, I'm like, get the hell away from him. I'd pull her off of him. I'm like, let's go, we're going. But they kind of do the civilized thing and let her say her goodbyes and stuff like that to him. I think he understands that he's not going to make it, or that he's really sick, like something's really wrong. So he kind of tells her, hey, you got to go. And again, that was a big eye roll moment for me, because I'm like, come on, just get on with it. Yeah, right, okay. Like, as a parent, you're going to let that just fly. It's like, okay, something's going on. I'm not going to let you just sit there for a moment. I'm like, let's go. We got to go. We got to get the hell out of here. And then, of course, the mom's boyfriend kind of lingers before they leave. He lingers in the hall and looks at him. I'm like, bye. I take off, man. I mean, seriously, it's an emergency. Something very horrible is happening and nobody knows it. And there shouldn't be like these lingering dramatic moments. Not that much anyway. I was like, come on, speed it up. Let's go. Come on, I'll meet you in the truck. The one thing that I did think that was really interesting was the other son. They show him boarding a bus and heading out or whatever. He gets the bus gets stopped by somebody saying, hey, the cops shot somebody like 20 times. This homeless guy like 20 times. He didn't even do nothing. And everybody leaves the bus and tries to go see what happened. And they kind of treat it almost like the stuff that's been going on in the news recently, or in recent years, I should say. Not recently, but recent years, where you have people not trusting the cops very much, or the police, and just people using their cameras to record the police, and the police not wanting that kind of thing. We got a lot of that in the show, in this episode, and I thought that was an interesting thing to put in there, just because it's pulled from reality. Now there wasn't anything in there as far as the cops getting pissed off and then hitting somebody or anything like that, or the people getting pissed off and hitting the cops. It was fairly neutral. There was still an argument and a clash going on there, but it wasn't anything extreme to where it could be controversial or anything. But I just thought it was an interesting thing to add in there to make us as viewers kind of, I guess, grab a hold of the story a little bit more and kind of be like, oh yeah, look, that's happening in there too. And then the neighbor that they said hello to in the first episode is shown packing up stuff and trying to head out, and they're kind of like, well, he has the right idea. And they show him sick. He's coughing and covering his mouth and things like that, and everybody's kind of, well, the family, the mom is kind of looking at him like, oh crap, something really is going on here. Everybody's getting sick. And then they have a neighbor across the street that's about to have a birthday party for her daughter with a, moonwalk and all that stuff. So I thought that was funny. And then she's like, well, yeah, y'all come over, everybody's canceling because everybody's getting sick or everybody's worried. So there's going to be more than enough food. Come on. It was an interesting thing to see one neighbor, packing up his stuff to take off. And then another neighbor was just like, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm still having a birthday party for my daughter. So whatever. It adds to the fact that not everybody is really paying attention to all this stuff. I'm a little bit of a germaphobe, so as soon as I would see a whole bunch of people getting sick, I'm like, nope, let's get out of here. We're leaving. Get in the truck. Come on, let's go. Purell my body. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. No, Clorox wipes all over me. Just gonna make a suit out of Clorox wipes. I thought the really interesting thing was that they have this son that's coming off of drugs, right now at the moment, and it adds an interesting aspect to it. Because he starts going through withdrawals right then and there. You see him start sweating and freaking out, going into seizures and stuff like that. So on top of all this virus stuff going on, this family has a son that's like, again, going through withdrawals and just freaking out. They're trying to wean him off of it a little bit. The mom goes back to the school to go get some pills to kind of start weaning him off of the drugs. And he's at home with the sister, just having seizures and throwing up everywhere and stuff like that, just being totally sick. Now, I want to see how long that's going to continue. I'm not too sure how long somebody that's on drugs goes through withdrawals. But if an attack happens while that's going on, that's going to be some major crap for them. The mom's boyfriend, Travis, tries to go off to go find his son. And he calls him whatever, and the son's like, oh, there's a protest going on, Dad. He's in the middle of this group of people, again, like I said before, going up against the cops or arguing with the cops, and he's videotaping it or whatever, and the kid thinks he's part of a movement, that he's part of this big thing, and he's like, Dad, they're protesting. I'm a part of it. I got to be here. So that was, again, one of those moments where I'd be like, screw that, you got to be there. I'm telling you to come here. You better get your butt over here now. The dad, ventures off to, like I said, to go find him, and then ends up, at this convenience store blocked off, and he sees a cop. And this lady's trying to argue with the cop or tell the cop, hey, what's going on? I need to know what's going on. And he's like, I don't know what's going on. We're trying to find out the same thing. While all this is going, while they're talking about that, the cop's loading up gallons of water into his trunk. Gallons of water. And, like the big thing of the bottles of water into his trunk. And that's when, Travis, the mom's boyfriend, looks at him and kind of raises his eyebrow like, something. Like, something's going on. Whoa. What are you doing? He just kind of shrugs it off and takes off or whatever, tries to go find his son. But that's an interesting thing too, because the cops know something. The cops know something that they're not telling anybody else. And that's horrible. That's horrible to think. The mom, Madison, goes back to her school to go find those pills, like I said, for her son. and then she runs into the kid she took the knife away from the first episode. And he kind of like, clues her into all this stuff, and she starts believing him now. And he's pretty much telling her, he's giving her the whole spiel like, look, this isn't going to end. This is just the beginning of it. The phone lines are gonna die. The internet, there's gonna be no more internet, no more power, no more anything. Because why? There's nobody there to maintain it. There will be nobody there to maintain this stuff. So this is just the beginning of the end. Basically, is what he's trying to explain to her. And then they go on a little trek within the school to go scrounge for some stuff. They find a bunch of food and canned food and stuff like that he's going to take back to his home. And then they start hearing something within the school, and they freak out and they start trying to run. And then of course the mom, the lady Madison, turns around and sees the principal, her boss, and she's like, hey, hey, you okay? And of course, he's not okay. Again, us as viewers, we already know, the gist of all this stuff, so we know that he is not okay. He comes out and you see that he's not okay, and lunges at her, starts fighting, whatever. The kid, basically runs in and stabs the guy in the face, or in the chest, I think it is, or in the face. But it's a small knife, so it doesn't do anything. And they roughhouse, whatever. They go tumble down the stairs, and it looks like this principal is about to get this kid. And I'm telling you, that whole moment, it was about 5 minutes or so. That whole scenario, I was on the edge of my seat because I didn't want this kid to die. Because this kid, he knows stuff. He's smart like that. He has that common sense to think about these things. And I the way I look at it, this kid could be somebody. Like this kid, I could see this kid being like a big leader or something later on. Or what if he shows up on The Walking Dead down the road? You never know. But anyway, so I'm on the edge of my seat like, oh my god, this kid's gonna get bit. And then Madison comes in and bashes the principal's head in with a fire extinguisher. Bashes it. And that's kind of like the moment where, the moment of realization that, yeah, this stuff isn't going away. This is serious. I just bashed somebody's head in. So it was a cool moment. And then on the other end with the boyfriend, Travis, he finds his son finally with his ex-wife, I believe, and they're in the middle of all this stuff, all this protest, and that protest quickly turns into a riot. You have riot police out there. They start freaking out. They run into a barbershop. They're pleading and begging with this barbershop owner to let them in because they don't want to be out there. Even the barbershop owner doesn't want to let them in. It's the wife that says, hey, come on, let them in. So they go inside. They're safe from all the stuff outside. But all the stuff that they're hearing, it's going to get worse from there. There's people flipping cars, people kicking over mailboxes. There's, fires and stuff like that, and shooting. And it's just going to get so much worse. If you dug this video at all and want me to keep doing these Fear the Walking Dead reviews / overviews, then give this video a thumbs up. And please subscribe to this channel. We have weekly videos going on. We have videos all the time, all sorts of stuff happening. So do that so that way you won't miss out on the fun. And we will catch you next time. Bye.